do you live with her now? What's your family household looking like?
Um, I live with my mom and my little brother.
Mm.
I see my dad on the weekends, and sometimes I go visit my grandma and my grandpa.
So you live with your mom and your little brother in Washington Heights?
No, we moved to the Bronx.
Bronx, BX. I was born and raised in the Bronx too. Um, so your brother, your mother, and your brother. How old is your brother?
Brother's 8.
8. And does he go to a kids school?
No, he goes to a regular public school.
Are you okay? And then your dad, he's in the picture,
Yes.
and you see him on weekends. What's your relationship like with him?
I feel like we're very close. Like, I feel like, like I know that if I had a problem and I called him, like he'd be here in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
That he's very passionate about everything that I'm into, and that we could like talk. So I just feel like we're very close for like what the situation between my mom and him is. But they're cool. They don't like. It's not like that they hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
She recognizes that he's a good parent, and he recognizes that she's a good parent. So I just feel that I'm glad that I get to see that dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
That if I grow up and I have a child with somebody, we don't stay together. I don't like take it out on my child. Like, I'm not with your mom, so I'm not gonna be with you. That I could just see, like, kind of what a real man is, because my dad tells me all the time that his dad wasn't around for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he feels like he should be in my life as much. And again, I feel like what the thing about the experience is that he could have gone on totally separate way. He could have been like, oh, my dad was around, so I'm not gonna be around for my kid.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he made the initiative to be like, I want to be in this child's life, to give him what I never had, I just idolize him for that.
That's good. And your grandparents, are they in the United States?
Yes.
Okay. And they live in New York?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the relationship like with them?
Before we moved to the Bronx, me and my mom, we lived with my grandparents. So I feel like I'm very close to them. My grandpa only speaks Spanish, but we sometimes talk, and my grandma speaks both.
Mm.
So I think that's cool that I could kind of see like their views, because they weren't born here, but they took the citizenship. So just the way that they like view like the country and what they say compared to what my mom says and what my mom believes, I can kind of see like the generation shift, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What is something, because you mentioned citizenship and the generation differences, what is something that your grandparents kind of believe that you agree with?
I agree with. Say like the importance of politics, like they're always watching, no, not politics, like the news in general, like no matter if it's bad or good, they're always watching the news. And I feel like that's very good that they're like invested in the world, because at that age it's very easy to just sit at home and like just sleep all day. The fact that they take the initiative, like they still go out and they still like watch news, they still care about the world that they live in, and that they still vote is like, I think it's cool that they're still like invested. The fact that they came here, they took the test and like, I want to be here, so I'm gonna take the opportunity to do what I need to do.
And where do they come from?
I'm DR.
DR, La República Dominicana. My grandparents came from the Dominican Republic too, and they came here and they lived here and they lived this American dream. And it's weird, right? Like they come over here and they spend so much time, and like ideally they came to the United States to make money, that's the American dream, to like make money, to live this better life. And then at the end, when they're like going to retire, they go back to their country and like live there for the rest of their life. And then life happens and they just stay here. Do you think that your grandparents, and this is my grandparents' lived experiences, right? Like they wanted to move back, but eventually they just stood here. Do you think that your grandparents, and I don't know if you know, right? If your grandparents want to move back to the DR, or they're just like, I'm good right here.
I haven't really been told, but I'm just saying, but like through my family dynamic, I don't feel like they want to go back over there, because my grandma's sister, she moved back to DR to be with her husband because for like they had a daughter here and for like the first, I'm gonna say like 20 or 30 years, like he wanted to move back and she wanted to stay to like make sure that she was okay.
Mm.
And as soon as her daughter moved out of state, she was fine with leaving. My mom tells me all the time that she just loves being like so close to her mom. So I don't feel like they want to leave because they don't want to leave their only child behind.
Yeah.
And they tell me and my brother all the time that they love her so much. So I don't feel like they could go back, knowing, I guess that they haven't seen us grow up to our potential yet.
Yeah. Okay. So you see them staying here then. All right. So in terms of family, you feel good?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Let's shift gears. I'm curious because I know you're on the football team, and I just saw a bunch of them training in the morning and then some training in the afternoon. How's football season or pre-football season? Like for me in language, because I'm not really good with the language. How's the season or the preseason going for you? Or training?
It's going good. I'm not working out as much as I would like because of my grades. I have the grades to be on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm able to play, but I'm not. My dad feels that they could be higher, so he said until they're where he wants them to be, I won't be able to work out with them yet. I feel that's good, but I wish that it wasn't that way. In the afternoon, the JV practices the young guys, and then the morning, that's when the varsity players happen.
And that's where you're going to be?
Yes.
Nice.
We've just been doing like weightlifting. I love it, just being in there, just being with everybody. Just having something like in school that I can like really enjoy. Just something that like that I look forward to every day. Even when the season's like over, like I still think about like, even when this happened, the fact that I have like shared experiences that I don't think can be taken away. Like the way that I feel about, I'm not saying that I'm friends with everybody on the team, but if a situation were to go down, I feel that everybody would be on my side and everybody will be there for me just from the experiences we have.
And has that happened before where your team has gotten you back?
Yeah, there was a situation on the field one time that like me and a player were about to fight and they were like just pushing us away. And they weren't really like telling me to fight, but they were kind of just telling me like, just calm down. We don't want you to get out of the game. We don't want you to stay here and calm down. And I just felt that it would have been easy. It would have been easier for them to just start fighting everybody else on the other team. But the fact that they knew what was important at the time and they like pulled me back and they talked to me, instead of like just push me around like saying like, oh, stop being stupid, that I just feel that just like the bond and connection that we have, I feel is very good for a team and a sport that there could be anywhere that could be like, well, I'm the hot shot of the team, that I don't care about anybody else, but the fact that we care, I just find that that's very important. So
you were going to fight someone on the other team?
Yes.
Okay. What school was it?
I don't even remember.
Not that I want to go and see, like, hey, let me see what happens next. No, okay, but you know, it seems like you guys have like a brotherhood going on. It seems like they have your back. Do you feel like you have their back?
Yeah.
And that's like kind of like the culture that you built, right?
Yeah.
So, kind of thinking, what position do you play in football?
On offense, I play wide receiver, and on defense, I play linebacker.
What's that?
I just tackle people.
Just bring them down, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Which role do you prefer?
I prefer wide receiver, just cause of the running that we do. I just find that fun, like kind of going like one-on-one with somebody and just like testing like who kind of wants it more and who's able to do it more. I just find that amazing, and I just love the feeling of just running.
Do you run often?
Not as often as I would like, but when I run, I feel like that I do my best when I do.
Okay. Now, you say you have a competitive spirit. What are the top two things you're most competitive about?
Football and gonna say like how people view me, I guess. Like if I'm with like multiple people, I kind of like just want to stand out from everybody else. Just like if we meet somebody, like I would rather them like remember something about me, even if they don't remember anything. They come and go like, oh, that's the kid, that's the kid, that's the guy that did this. Just like, yeah, just yeah. Man.
But you said did this and did what?
Like I don't know, like just like if my friend are like talking to someone, like I would like make it my job that like this person's gonna talk to me more because I'm more fun and I'm better to be around. So
Now, do you think that you had this competitive spirit because of something in the past happened?
No, I think my parents have always told me that I've been competitive, and I think just as I got older that it got no. I do remember experience. So when I was younger, I wasn't really into sports at all. I didn't get into sports until like 7th or 8th grade, and my dad used to coach a team, and I remember like he would like give props to the kids. I would like watch and I'd be like, I want props. And I didn't really like know about sport because my dad's a real big basketball player, and I didn't really like basketball, so I was like, oh, I guess that's it. Can't play anything else. Then on the playground, and some of the kids were like throwing around the football. I'm like, oh, what's this? I found out I was fast, and I was like, okay, I like this.
Keep on.
So I just feel that through that experience, kind of like not competing for my dad's love or anything, but like recognition. I feel like I really wanted that when I was younger, and I just found a way to get it at something that I enjoyed. So I feel that's the reason for me being so competitive. There were a lot of kids in my school that were like playing the sport, so I just feel like the fact like middle school like a pick up football games not really as serious as like playing in high school or in college, but just the fact that like getting picked first like on the team was like the biggest deal when you were playing. The fact that I like being like getting picked like not first but like first or fourth, I was happy with it because I was like, they think I'm better than you guys.
What did your dad say when he saw you playing football and not basketball?
He was all for it. He used to like make jokes like, oh, at least he's like playing a sport. But like before that, he was like, oh, he doesn't play a sport, but he really likes to read. So I felt like no matter what it was, my dad was always supporting me. I wasn't playing a sport, but he's like, oh, but he's getting good grades. He's reading books, so he has something going for him. So I just feel like if I wasn't doing anything, I know it would bother him because I wouldn't get the experience I guess that he got. Because my dad played football, not football. My dad played basketball. My mom played. My mom was a cheerleader, so they know what it is to like be on a team. And I guess that he just likes the fact now that like I know what it feels like to like be on a team and like the culture that is on a team.
That's good. That's made me think about like how important it is to have such good support and someone to support you. That's not just your teammate, but like someone who's your personal cheerleader. Did you feel? I know you said you felt competitive when he gave props to the other people playing, and sometimes you can feel like, yo, Dad, what's up? Like you can't. I'm your son. But man, that thank you for sharing that. Because I know that it can be kind of bring you back to like those times where you shift the gears and you were like, oh man, my dad's not gonna like me probably for playing football. And then you realize that he did appreciate you. So you're good for next season?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
As of now, yeah.
How do you feel transitioning to varsity?
I played varsity this year.
Oh.
Yeah. At first, I didn't want to be on varsity because I knew that I wouldn't be playing as much as I would on JV. But through talking to like my older cousins and some of them that played like football in college, that this would be an experience that I'd have that a lot of the other kids that will be on varsity this year won't have. That I'll have a year of experience ahead of them, and I did play a little bit this season, and I was happy for that. I got the experience. I did have some moments that like I wasn't my best self, but I feel that just from like being to like I didn't want to be on varsity, that I didn't want to talk to anybody, to like at the end of the season like I knew everybody there, and when I was needed I did my job. So just the fact that I cycled through that I felt that this was kind of a growing experience for me. I'm glad that I had it sophomore year instead of junior year, because then after junior year it would just be senior year, but now that I had 2 more years, I already went through the learning process. I mean, I have a lot to learn now, but that I've gotten over the mental hurdle that like playing isn't everything, because on JV first year it was just us, so I was playing all the time.
Yeah.
So the fact now that I can see it from the other perspective, I feel that no matter where the coach puts me or what I'll be doing, that I'll be doing my job.
That's learning. That's major progress. That sounds like a mature personality, like a mature thinking, mature level of thinking. So, who on the varsity team do you look up to the most?
Raul and Sean. Sean.
Terrell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raw because just the way that Raw like takes everything on the field. I feel that Raw has a very like big leadership role on the team, just like being a senior. He's always hyping us up like before games with the speeches. I thought that was very good of him, and when I was on the team he was always giving me like tips. Because if Raw wasn't playing, I'd be Raw's backup.
Yeah.
So he's always giving me props. He could have easily just not told me anything and let me struggle, but the fact that he kind of left something behind, because he's leaving this year, but he left something behind. I just feel that I could do him justice. So if he comes to watch the game, like he knows that I'm the player that I am because of what he taught me. And Sean's an amazing player, but also the loss that we had during the season when Telly passed away, it really hit Sean hard. But the fact that Sean was able to bounce back in the way that he did, and still like keep up like his social stuff and his way, I just really admire that even in like the face of tragedy, that he still knew that he made a commitment to us, and that he knew what he wanted, and even though he wasn't feeling his best, that he was gonna try his butt off, and we all supported him. He got MVP this year, and I felt that he very much deserved it.
Okay. Yeah. The passing of Sam Nicholas hit home for the football team, and you were on the varsity team, so you had your experience with them. Someone's probably playing something else. Yep. We can come together. But dude, is there anything else you would like to chat about?
Off the top of my head, no.
Off the top of your head, any games? Do you play PS4?
Yeah.
What's your favorite game?
I'm gonna say Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Tell me about this Fortnite. I'm hearing this a lot. I don't know what it is, but I hear it all the time.
So it's like this battle royale game. So basically, you can play with yourself and a friend. That'll be duos, or yourself and 3 other people will be squad. There's 100 people in the game. And it's it's a map. The places are set, but like the loot is random. Like depends on what you get. So you land somewhere, you get guns, and the goal is to be the last one surviving.
Oh, so every man for themselves?
Yeah, every man for this person unless you're on a team.
So what are you, like walking into a forest or something?
Yeah, it's like a huge there's like a city over here. There's like woods over here. It's like different like terrain.
Like a huge map.
Yeah, just a huge map, and like the game like makes it so you can only be in certain areas or you'll like take damage. So kind of forcing people to have like combat and fight each other. Because you can go the whole game without seeing anybody and win, but you can also like go